Hello my sweet friends and welcome to DIY with Nadia. Today we are making a coffee filter wreath. It is beautiful, elegant, and it can be used for any holiday, any season, just by tweaking a few little things. For a coffee filter wreath, we're going to need a few basic things. Of course, we're going to need our coffee filters, a wreath form, hot glue gun, and of course hot glue sticks. Let's go over the specifics on those. As far as your coffee filters, it depends how big your wreath form is. You're going to need anywhere from 200 to 500 and even more if you're using a really big wreath form. As far as the wreath form, this wreath form is from the Dollar Tree. This is the most common one at the Dollar Tree. It's 9.8 inches or 24 centimeters. And there's one really important thing you want to remember before we start making this wreath is this wreath form has a coated layer. It's a layer that protects the foam and kind of makes it stronger. And the most important thing when using a hot glue gun on this wreath form is you want to make sure that you're using a low temperature glue gun. Here's the reason why. If you're using a high temperature glue gun, there's a chance you're going to penetrate this kind of surrounding protective layer. And once you pass that, you're not going to be able to glue anything because it's basically thick foam. But the only way to hot glue to this wreath form is actually on this protective layer using a low temperature hot glue gun. Now, if you're wondering if you have a low temperature or a high temperature one, here's a great way to know. If you don't have any settings on it, and it's a cheap little thing from Michael's, this one's $5 from Michael's, this is a low temperature hot glue gun. If you have a hot glue gun that has settings on it, low and high, you just go to the low and it's going to be the same heat as this one. Today I'm going to be using the Gorilla hot glue sticks. This is not sponsored. This is what I recommend all the time because this is what's actually going to stick and hold. Now let's get started on making our little ruffles here. The reason I have my measuring mat is to show you how big my filters are. And these are almost 10 inches. So let me just fold these really quickly in half. There you go. So almost 5 inches, so 9 3/4 in length. So these are pretty standard. Okay, to get started on this, there's a few ways to fold our little ruffles. A lot of people fold them in half, then fold them in half again, and then they'll either fold them in half again or they'll curl it. Whatever you want to do is fine. And some people, when they fold it like this, they'll just kind of do a little fold in the middle right here. And that is how they're going to hot glue it and go all the way around. You can definitely do that. Today, I'm going to, what I call is a fun method. So when you have your coffee filter, you kind of find your center. And what I like to do is I find my middle. When I find my middle, all I do is I bring one side in to the center, the other side to the center, find my middle and kind of squeeze it. When I found my middle, squeeze it, I kind of start turning it. And I make this kind of like a little leaf right here. And this is what I'm going to attach. The reason I do this is I call this kind of lazy method and a fun method because you can definitely do this with your kiddos, with your grandkids. Look at this. I fold it in half. I bring one side in. I bring the other side in. Very nice. It still has the ruffle. Then I kind of crunch it in the middle right here. And then with this one, I'm just trying to kind of flatten it out to make a little petal and twisting it. Did you see how I twisted it just a little bit? That way, this is all secure, and when I hot glue it, it's not gonna go anywhere. When it's going to be pushed against some other ones, see how it is? Bam, we already have one for me. And I'm just going to continue doing this. There you go, ruffle, ruffle, middle, and I'm just going to kind of flatten and twist at the same time. You see one hand is going one way, the other one's going the other way. And then I'm going to bend it up because this is the part where we're going to hot glue it. Fold it in half or find your middle somehow. There you go. Bring it up, kind of squeeze in the middle and just kind of, there you go. And you're gently kind of twisting because you don't want to really torque it because you're going to rip the actual paper right here. So that's why I'm just gently kind of torquing and then bam. That's it. Find my center, bring it in, find your middle. With the other hand, kind of hold it and kind of twist as I'm going along. And I'm just kind of, the reason I keep on doing this is as it's going around, you're crunching all of that. There you go. And then you just kind of sit it up and do like a 90-degree right here. And this is fun. Don't you think this is fun? I think it's fun. So I'm going to go ahead and just keep on making my little bundles right here. And just twist, twist, twist. And a 90-degree angle. All right, my friends, now it's time to protect your little fingers. And I get these finger protectors at the Dollar Tree. They come 3 for $1. Really, really nice. All right. I have some of these. There's so many of them. I basically have 2 boxes of these. I'm not quite sure how many I have, but here we go. I'm going to start, and the way I go is basically we're going to go in kind of these loops right here, starting in the middle. And do you see it doesn't go through this upper layer of the foam right here? And we're just going to start hot gluing them. Every other layer I'm going to go in between. Here's what I mean. I have 1, 2, 3. Then this next layer is going to be right on top pretty much. 1 and 2. And then again we're going to go 1, 2, 3. And then again 1, 2. So I have 1, 2, 3 here. Next I'm going to move about 1/2 inch down or a little smaller. And then 2 right there in between. As I'm making this wreath, I had to stop and just kind of take a moment to take in how absolutely stunning this is. Any holiday. I mean, really, you put an orange ribbon, you have fall. You put a pink one and you have spring or yellow, you know. You put a red one, you got Valentine's or Christmas. And it is so absolutely stunning. If you're coming to an area where there's nowhere to put the actual paddle, the actual part right here, so what I do is I actually fold it up, just hot glue it up, and then hot glue the ending and just stick it in place. And anywhere you feel like it's empty or it needs a little bit more, which using the method I've been using, I don't feel like I need to fill anywhere in. You can't see the green wreath, nothing like that. To hang the wreath, you can do one of few things. You can just grab a ribbon, and for winter, this would be pretty. Just put it through here. There you go. And just hot glue it on itself and just hang it like that, and it'll be so pretty. Another option is just to grab some white ribbon. This is going to make for a very, very classy wreath. Whatever the holiday you're going to use it for, you could do that. I'm going to kind of do it differently. I want this to be floating. So I'm going to go in the back, and as you can see how beautiful it is going around, I'm just going to pick a spot, and I'm going to grab a thick gauge wire here and just go through the center of my wreath form, cut it off, and then I'm going to twist once And then what I like to do is the left one will go to the right one will go to the left, and then continue twisting, and that'll lock it in place. And I'm just going to turn it around so all that mess is on the inside. And if anything's sticking out, what I do is just I literally poke it straight into the wreath. And then right here, I'm going to give it a little bit of hot glue just to kind of seal it in place, because that's what it's going to be hung on. And on the other side, just seal all that wire in place. Let it cool. I'm going to give this top one a little twist. There you go, and that is how I'm going to hang it with that little loop. As you can see, my hot glue has dried right there. And now I'm going to do one more step, but look at this wreath. You do not have to. You could leave it just like it is. And just, oh, how beautiful. What I want to do is I want to grab some rose gold. I'm going to be using the rose gold by Craft Smart here. Give it a little shake there. Then I'm going to grab a shabby brush. Just any shabby brush is fine. And we're going to dry brush it on our wreath. So I'm going to tap it a little bit. And I don't want it to be too much. That's why I have my little towel right here in case I have too much on it. And we're going to just kind of brush it like this. It's going to have a little rustic feel to it, but depending on how the light is going to hit it, it's going to glisten a little bit because of the gold that's in this color. And I'm doing it very lightly. No pressure, nothing. Just very, very lightly. So here is the wreath with my rose gold, and here it is without. But it just brings out those curls and those ruffles, and it looks so absolutely beautiful.